students, how are you all? Hope you all safe. So today I am going to start with my new lesson, that is the religious promoters and social reformers. So from the ancient world, we are seeing many religions were there. So they are the one who come with a new religion, they will preach in the society and they will bring changes in the society. So those people are called as social reformers. So let me start with my lesson, that is religious promoters and social reformers. So religious promoters like are promoting about the gods and goddesses, telling about their importance and all. So in the in 8th standard only we all have seen in the ancient civilization of India, in that two periods were there, Rig Veda period and post Rig Veda period. So the people used to, so in the social life you will have seen that the people used to worship the god, praise the god for two purposes, for good harvest, for good crops and for good rain, harvest, and to defeat their enemies and all. And their varna system was there. Only the upper two varnas like Brahmana, Kshatriyas, they used to do all kinds of homas, yajnas. Only those people are allowed to do in the society. They are having kind of respect in the society. They are superior people. So caste based thing, discrimination was there. So Vaishyas and Shudras were discriminated on the basis of the caste. They were not allowed to anywhere in the temples or else to attend the homas, yajnas, pujas and all. So like this kind of untouchability, discrimination was there in the society. So at that time the new religions have been taken birth and these people have attracted towards the new religions, and they also they also brought some changes in the society, in the life of the people. So let me start with the introduction. So yeah, the period between the 8th century and 13th century is very important in socio-culture history of India. During the same period, Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya and Ramanujarya, who are the founders of three Vedic religions, were living in India, that is Dvaita, Advaita and Vishishta Advaita. So the three major philosophers also came into existence, that is Basveshwara. Not only the Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya and Ramanujarya were there, Basveshwara also was there of Kalyana, declared social revolution against caste and gender-based discriminations were there. So in the Vedic period, what was there? Caste discrimination and gender, male and female. Male used to get more importance in the society. Female, she was under the four walls. They used to think that there is no benefit from the women's and all, and caste-based. Superior, inferior, upper caste, lower caste. So this kind of discrimination was there, and these are the people who came to, they preached and they brought some changes in the society. And the three acharyas, who are the three acharyas, that is Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya and Basveshwara, what they did, and Basveshwara preached all the people to surrender to God irrespective of caste and richness. So when we surrender to God, we have to surrender wholeheartedly to God. So in that, when we surrender to God, there is no rich, there is no poor, there is no superior, there is no inferior. So in the sight of the gods, all people are equal. So God only had created human beings. So in the sight of the God, all are equal. When it comes to the God, God will see that they all are my children. They all are equal in front of me. There is no inferior, there is no superior, no Brahmana, no Kshatriya, no Vaishya, no Shudra. All are one to me. So, and what they are saying, all the three acharyas, that is Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, Ramanujarya and Basveshwara, they are telling we have to surrender to God. While surrendering to God, there is no caste, there is no rich or there is no poor. So all are one in front of the God. And they revived the society through Bhakti Marga, though changed. And this is about the introductions of the religious promoters and the social reform. Now I am going to explain you all about the Shankaracharya, who preached about the Advaita. Here, Shankaracharya, he was born in a village, Kalladi, in Kerala, in a Nambodari Brahmin family. His father was a Shiva Guru and mother Aryamba. And he learned Aryamba, and this one Shankaracharya, he was a very intelligent. At the age of 7, he had mastered all the scriptures, all the texts, all the holy texts and all, and he learned Vedas and Puranas from his teacher, that is Govinda, and he studied the Upanishads and Upanishads in depth and absolute truth, and he promoted Advaita philosophy. According to this, Brahma is the absolute truth. The rest of the world is false. Why the Brahmas? Because the Brahma itself only, he's created the world, he created the human being. So what he's stating as Shankaracharya, Brahma is an absolute God, he is an absolute truth, and the world is Maya. Maya means what? Is an illusion and illusion. And Brahma is an absolute truth. People are ignorant. They are arrogant. They are not aware of the illusionary nature of the world itself. They all are also not aware of that Brahma, he is the only truth. So what the Shankaracharya is telling, people are not aware. So that is the Brahma is an absolute truth. You all know that Brahma is the one who created the human being, who created the world and the human being. Then he is telling that he is an absolute truth. People are ignoring, people are not aware of that the Brahma itself only is an truth. Hence, we should go on the path of the knowledge, realize the nature of the world, and ultimately we should merge our Atma. Merge is nothing but we have to combine our Atma, we have to mix our Atma with the absolute truth of the Brahma, and only then we can attain the moksha. Moksha means what? Liberation. Liberation is nothing but is called as an salvation. So in this manner, Shankaracharya taught the path of knowledge, and the human soul has no separate existence, and he expressed this fact in the ways that is an Atma, Aham Brahmasmi, means I am the Brahma. So what he is telling that Shankaracharya, Aham Brahmasmi means I the Brahma, I am the one, through me only you will get the liberation, moksha, and I am the truth of this creation of world and the human being. Through me only you will have to will get the moksha, he is telling. These words are said by the Shankaracharya, and what he is saying that he declared that Brahma is the truth, has no qualities, no features, no shape. That is Nirguna, Nirakara, Nirvikara. Nirguna, Nirakara, Nirvikara means what? No qualities, no features, no shape. So the Brahma, he don't have any kind of he's having no particular shape is not there, no particular qualities are not there, no particular features are there, but he is the one who had created. And Brahma is Brahma is an absolute truth, and he is an absolute one. He is a creator of the nature, he is a creator of the human. Through him only we can get the moksha. Moksha is what? Salvation. Moksha is nothing but an liberation. So that is about the Shankaracharyas and his works. His Shankaracharya has written the आनंद लहरी, सौंदर्य लहरी, शिवानंद लहरी, विवेका चूड़ामणि, and Prabhata, Shankara, and and Dakshinamurti, Sutra, his hymns, Govinda, Bhaja Govindam, is a world famous. So Shankaracharya, what he did, he travelled from Kanyakumari to Kashmir on foot and propagated, he propagated the religion of the Brahma, that Brahma is an absolute truth. Through him only you are going to get the moksha. Moksha is what? Liberation. And our Atma, we have to merge with the Brahma, we have to mix with it. And so these are the things. And his philosophies, his philosophy established pitas in all the four directions. Pitas are nothing but it is called as institutions. That is Badri, in Badri, Joytri Pita, and Dwaraka Kalika Pita, Puri Govardhana Pita, and Sringeri Sharada Pita, Kanchi Kamakoti Pita. So these are about the Shankaracharya's these works. So I hope so you all understanding, students. So in the next class I am going to continue with the same lesson. Thank you.